FN-2187. Yes, we have Finn. Finn, the First Order Stormtrooper. So this is exclusive from 2021. Gentle Giant has just sent us to this. Now, if you haven't, noticed that conventions aren't all that they should have been in 2021. So that's enabled us to get a lot of conventions exclusives that normally we wouldn't have been able to get, that we could now get online. So that's pretty cool. I've gotten a bunch from Gentle Giant in the last couple months. And, gotta say, as much as I miss conventions, I don't miss conventions. I miss exclusives. I meeting my friends that I've met at conventions, but the people and the crowds and the headaches, not so much. So here we have our Gentle Giant baseball card, which has, we have number 314 out of 500. So Finn's a little on the limited release side. Here we do have a program. Here we have a slider card. It's going to tell us all the guys that are coming out. Now, this is from 2021. So we have reviewed several of these. We've reviewed the Ahsoka, the TIE Fighter pilot. We haven't reviewed these two yet. Really like to review these two. Now, I know things got delayed, too. We have reviewed Dr. Aphra, Darth Maul, as well as Grand Admiral Thrawn. All great pickups. Highly recommend getting them all, especially the Thrawn, because it's Thrawn. So let's do the box here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, as you can see, we are going to have two different heads here on Finn. So we are going to have the bloody hand. And then we are limited to 500 pieces. We have his story here. The design is modeled on a prototype. 3D technology. Here we see John Boyega on the back. It's a 1/6 scale mini bust. I'm interested to see how the heads work, because this is what I always like. So here we have the styrofoam, and as I always say, keep the styrofoam, keep the box, keep everything. It's a good way to store it. Rotate through my collection to give lots of characters their own screen time. So as we open them up here, see we have 314 out of 500, and I've done a couple of the Stormtroopers busts, so it's nice to see the mini bust. So it's nice to see that they have them, that they're all different. That this one, the arms don't come off. We've had the First Order like officer, trooper, then we've had just a regular soldier. The arms would change. We had a pistol, we had a shoulder pad, we had all kinds of things. I love the dirt and the grit here that we get from that first Jakku kind of meeting when they meet Finn and everybody for the first time, especially when you meet Kylo Ren. So let's pull out the heads here. So we have two heads. Now, this retails for $120. They are up on the Gentle Giant site. Put this here. So here, let's do John Boyega's head first. Take a look at it. So we do have the piping here, the piecing. We do have a magnet inside, and we have a magnet there. We have a little plastic bag residue on his forehead. So just a little plastic residue came up with just a little bit. There it goes. It's gone. A little plastic residue. But there we go. The trooper that rebelled. And of course, there's always that question, were there other troopers? And later we found out, yes, there were, but it was like a 2-movie wait, I also liked when they talk about Stormtroopers, that there were Stormtroopers, and this is in the Marvel comic, that and the Dark Horse comics, and we got to give them props. They flew the Star Wars flag for a very long time. That there were troopers that this was a better way of life, was becoming part of something. And if you think about it, that's what Luke wanted to do. He wanted to join the Academy and get away from the planet that he was on. There's been other stories too where the Empire actually was better than the world in which they were living on. So, and brought them order out of chaos. So it's kind of interesting that we had one who was taken from his family, and instead of a clone, they just, trained them to be soldiers. So here's one that actually has a moment of hesitation. I always kind of felt like he would have been the Jedi, and then if you learn a little bit more about the backstory of Finn in Episode 9, you find out that yes, he was Force sensitive. So I wish they would have dealt with that more, and I think it definitely would have mixed up the story, and you wouldn't have had a princess the pilot, and then you would have had another Jedi style character that would have been like finding his path. So let's try the blood helmet. That's what I love calling it, the blood helmet. And I'm going to get into this in a second here. So we do have the bloody hand, and we never really went into, now maybe it wasn't the novel, and I only ever read the second novel for the sequel trilogy, but we never went into who that person was. Was he a friend of Finn's? Was he somebody, was his first mission? I'm sure that there is that lore out there somewhere, and if you do know it, please comment. Please make a comment in the section. I'd love to know where I should start looking. So we'll put the head in there. And see, this is what I love about Gentle Giant and their attention to detail. See the dirt here, 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 all matching. So it really is the grimy, dirty Stormtrooper from that very first Jakku fight. And what I love about the blood here, and this was such a contrast to me for any other Star Wars movie up to that point, was I can't think of a single instance where we saw blood in the original trilogy. It really set a grittier tone. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it was just so different and such a contrast. And, I mean, I'll flip it. Besides the blood and gore side of it, I love, in the trailer, when Rey and Finn lock hands and help each other up and run from the Empire. It was such that personal touch, that human touch that was missing in the prequel trilogy that I didn't think was there. So anyway, back to the bust. We're going to put we'll put 375 Stormtrooper up here so you get an idea of the scale. And you know what? Let's mix it up. Let's do an R5D4. Oh yeah, original Kenner R5D4. So really showing you the scale here. And straight up, we are looking a little over 6 inches tall with the bust. So this is how I would display it. This is more what I like. Sometimes when you have these, you have the human faces. I think they've got his jawline right, but it's the eyes. The eyes are always a little unsettling to me, and it's even why I prefer monsters and guys with helmets when it comes to my Star Wars collection. It's that human face. Sometimes it's good, but it's usually not. And this is okay, but I prefer this. And this is the character at the moment where he stops. That's why I kind of like that the gun is pointed down too. So thank you, Gentle Giant. Love it. It's a fantastic release. Retails for $120. It's on the Gentle Giant site. This is Bob from Total Recon, signing out.